talk to the legends of the creative and entertainment industries. We talk to those on the rise. Lance Dean Anthony Nielsen asks about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is Outcast Creative, and this is Industry Interviews.
Hello and welcome to the Outcast Creative channel for the second time in 2025. I am still a little bit under the weather, so if you think my voice sounds a little bit bunged up, that's because it is. But fortunately, I've got a couple of co-hosts who are going to help me through this interview tonight, just in case I have a bit of a coughing fit or whatever, because we don't like to postpone things here. We don't like to cancel things here. We like to soldier on no matter what. So, besides, I have a pretty, I have a pretty workaholic work ethic. So tonight's guest, Gulshan Singh, is an independent film director, second unit director. He's also worked as a first AD. He started his career back in India, is now making and directing films in the UK. So we're going to talk about both his career over there and his career over here. He's worked with some good friends of mine, Alex Reese and Darren Tassel. Assisting me tonight, I've got independent film director Oliver Hollingdale, who's been on the channel before. Thanks for coming on, Ollie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
And also we have Luke from up north, who may have a couple of questions to ask our guest.
Hello, you beautiful bastards.
Thank you very much for coming on, Luke. I appreciate it.
Hey, welcome.
Guys, I'm drinking tons of fluids here, so anytime I need you to fill in for me, please do. But without any further delay, let us bring in our guest. Gulshan, welcome to the Outcast Creative channel, sir. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Lance. Thank you so much for making part of the podcast. Hi, Luke. Hi, Oliver.
Hello.
No problem. I know originally we were going to have you on last year, and you had some personal difficulties, so we rescheduled, and that's not a problem. We do like to support independent filmmakers on the channel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen it before, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I think this is Industry Interview 93. I've had to shuffle them around a little bit. I think it's listed as 95 because I was supposed to have a couple more before this. But anyway, I'll sort all that out later. So, Gulshan, what I always do with my guests, just to get a sense of your own upbringing where the media and films are concerned, is I do a few quick fire questions to see what sort of films and television influenced you as you were growing up in your career. So if I can ask you first, do you remember what the first film was when you were young that you saw on the big screen?
It was of course, I'm born and brought up in India. So my first, it was an Indian film. I think it was DDLJ, like Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. It was a massive hit globally as an Indian film. And the other one which impressed me, and it was kind of it created my interest into the film industry, was Titanic. I watched it. It was like, the film itself was a great film. So for me, yeah. So it was entertaining. It had, lot of things. When this film was released in 1997, the kind of technology of the photography, it was amazing. So
yeah, there was a lot of new special effects work in that film. That kind of came off the back of things like Terminator 2. They finally knew how to do water properly with CGI, which had taken quite a long time to master. Had you seen A Night to Remember, the black and white Titanic film?
I don't remember exactly, so I don't.
It's the one that was made in the 50s with Kenneth More. And I think you can see the whole film on YouTube for free. And if you like the Titanic movie, I highly recommend watching it. And there's a really good making of about it. I think you'd find fascinating.
A Night to Remember, you said.
A Night to Remember, yeah.
Great. I'll definitely watch it.
It's one of the first movies I remember watching on a Sunday afternoon with my father, and that was for a long time until Cameron came along. That was the definitive Titanic film, and it does still hold up well today. The shots in it. There's so many shots in this movie that are replicated in Titanic. What was the last film that you saw on the cinema on the big screen that you paid for a ticket for?
Usually I watch a lot of movies in cinema. I prefer watching the movies in cinema rather than watching it on TV or home.
Sure.
So I had my membership card for Cineworld. So, I have watched like 4 films in a day, back to back. And that
okay. So the last time you went to the cinema, you did that?
Yeah, no, but the last film I watched like a couple of months ago because I had some busy schedule, so I couldn't go to the cinema. It was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So that was the last one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's going to be much more effective on the big screen. Yeah. What television show in the last 20 years would you say was a must watch for you? You had to binge the whole thing.
Like TV shows in India, but not recently. Like at the time of COVID, I watched The Top Boy, which I liked it because of the simplicity of the characters and simplicity of the whole series. No larger than life characters, but still gripping, and the story of a common man, how they get into the wrong world. So I think that impressed me more. But other than that, there were few Indian TV shows when I was young. So yeah, but this one was I think I liked it most.
Yeah. Do you have plans to maybe develop any television series yourself?
As of now, I'm focusing more on the films because my career graph is more into the films. When I started my career, I tried to do TV in India, but doing TV in India, it's totally a different game. It's very, very long working hours. So
sure.
we'll come back to that topic.
We will. We will come back to that topic.
Yeah, but I'm focusing more on films as of now.
Do you have an American actor or actress you haven't worked with yet that you'd really love to work with at some point in your future?
I would love to work with Christoph Waltz.
Oh, well, he would be German. But yeah, I mean, he's a Hollywood actor now, but he's a fantastic actor. That's a good choice. What about an actress?
Naomi Watts, I like.
Yeah.
And I think she's very good actor.
Well, I mean, if you could get Naomi Watts and Christoph Waltz in a film together, I think that would be a cracking 2 leads.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think
Ollie would work with them on separate movies.
Well, indeed. Yeah, you might have to because of the salaries required. All right, so let's move on. Do you have a movie, let's say a Western movie, that's a guilty pleasure? It doesn't have to be something that's particularly critically well regarded, that you like to watch at least once a year. I'll give you an example. So for me, it's probably Independence Day. With the spaceships blowing up everybody. I like to watch that at least once a year because it's just mindless entertainment and I can switch off for 2 hours. Do you have a movie like that?
I would like to watch Vantage Point.
Vantage Point.
Because of its, the script, because movie rewinds every 29 minutes and you see a different point of view of the characters in it, and I think it's one of the movie which I could watch again and again because it's.
Yeah, I saw this at the cinema. It's I'm pretty sure I've got the right one. This is the one with Dennis Quaid, and it's all to do with the assassination.
That's right.
Someone's trying to prevent it. Some people are trying to succeed. Yeah, good movie. Forrest Whitaker as well.
Yeah, it was nominated for the best original screenplay for the.
Is that the one who has Matthew Fox in it as well, the guy from Lost? Am I thinking of that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Oh yeah, years ago. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah, James LeGros and Zoe Salinger both in it as well. And I really like James LeGros, fantastic actor. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. How did filmmaking start for you, and what was your gateway into first being on a set? Talk us through it a little bit.
It's a very funny incident. I wanted to be in the films, but I didn't have any connection because I'm from a very small village of Punjab, and when I moved to Mumbai, it's like a hub of Indian film industry. A lot of films are made every year, but it's a bit hard for the person like me to get into the films. So I had a friend who was into the production of the film. So he invited me on the set of a film called Barfi in 2012, 11, and it had a very good star cast. Priyanka Chopra, she's Miss World, and she's doing well in Hollywood now.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Very stunning woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they were in need of the scooters, very old scooters. So my friend called me and he told me that like he's into the production and he was given the duty to find the scooters. So I knew somebody, so I just recommended. And when I went on the set, it was a film floor, and like in Mumbai, we have small film sets, and we call them floors. It's like a covered building, and you can build your own set inside it. It's like a huge floor. So so when I entered the set, I liked the way everything was like going on. Everybody was busy doing their own stuff, and I I really liked it, and I spoke to my friend. I want to be into the films, and at that point of time, I used to work for a call center.
Right.
Yeah, so it was
it's good you got out of the call center. You might have ended up on a YouTube video or something like that, which you know, don't think you want that to happen.
Yeah.
So
yep.
So you got on the set, and well, you said initially you wanted to be in films. Did you mean as an actor?
Honestly, yes, but I didn't know. Like, I wasn't aware of the other departments of the films, like
Sure.
direction, art direction, writing. Like, I knew a little bit about it, but I had no idea how to like become a crew. So my friend told me, he explained me like who is doing what on the set. So the direction was the most interesting part I found. And then I spoke with my friend if I can join the director as an assistant. So he had a word with the director, and they allowed me to be. I think I was the like last assistant director in the film. So
right.
That's how I started, and then I learned a lot. I used to go to my work for like 8 hours shift, and then I go to the film set to learn, and then slowly they started giving me the more responsibility, and then how I started. And luckily, this film was India's official entry into the Oscars. They didn't make it, but it was like good move. And for me, as an assistant director, it helped me a lot to uh, get the further work.
Yeah, you proved yourself on set and made some contacts, and through those, presumably, you'll get other jobs.
Yeah, that was like this was the first movie, but you know, in Bollywood, in like Indian film industry, it's as a beginner, it's really hard to get to the right place, like the place where you want to work. It's like kind of, jungle of the film industry. So, but I think I'm fortunate to have the first movie with such a good star cast and with such a great director. So,
well, this is actually an aerial view of what's known as Bollywood City from Mumbai. I think these are some of the backlots here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then I believe that this is part of the studio here. I'm not sure about this building, but it's all in the same area, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you go to Mumbai, so we have a big film city, a place called Goregaon. So you see, you will find a lot of filming going around in that area. And the studios, like the post-production studios, are mainly an area called Andheri. So we had huge studios there. So yeah, that's the main hub of the industry within Mumbai city. But these days, like filmmaking it's done everywhere, because now the communication modes are strong, the traveling is easier, so filming is done. The Bollywood movies are filmed all over the world, like in
Sure.
UK. Uh, I have filmed a movie in Mauritius, then in UK, and then all other parts of India. So
yeah, I mean, something that happened, I guess, in the last 15 years.
yeah,
and I know RRR would be a movie that played a significant role here, but there were others before RRR. Is that Bollywood films now are reaching a much wider audience. A lot of my friends who have no connection to that culture or background went to see RRR at the cinema. And I think the films have become internationally more accessible. The standard, of course, is much higher. And I mean, what do you think were the significant factors in that happening?
I think it's because of the streaming platforms, like Netflix, Amazon. There are many streaming platforms in India, so now the content is available all over the world. Like I watch uh, movies from the different countries. I don't even know the name of the actors. I just see the poster, I just see the trailer, and I start watching it. And language is not a barrier now, because you have subtitles. You have films dubbed in the language you want. So I think streaming platforms have played a vital role in bringing the content from one language to another.
So your first outing as a director, before we get on to IC9, was the sort of romantic comedy Afsar. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, that's Afsar. Afsar means officer. Actually, it's in Punjabi we call it Afsar, but the word is officer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So and I've read the plot a little bit. So how did this come about? And I think, am I right in thinking you co-directed this with a relative?
No, it's fully directed by me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the only director of the film. I think there might be some misinformation on the internet.
IMDb gets stuff wrong all the time, as Ollie will verify. I had a short film combined, which was nothing to do with me, combined with one of my feature films, and we had double the credits on the whole thing. It took about 3 years to get them removed.
Oh, I think sometimes person with the same name, they add their name into your profile. So
yeah, that's very, very common.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. IMDb should
Yeah, they're terrible at policing it. You know, and quite hard to sort of. It's not like they've got a direct customer services.
No.
Yeah,
And IMDb is very old. The system of IMDb, the foundations of it, is just so outdated and so clunky. It needs streamlining for sure.
So this is a movie back home. How talk us through this? How did you go from working on set as an associate director or first AD and other roles similar to that to getting your own film? Talk us through it. How did it happen?
Yeah, so when I started working as an assistant director, first AD, so I never ever thought I'm the first AD. I always had a point of view as I look the project as a whole. I take the responsibility of everything on the set. I coordinate with all the departments as a first AD, but my uh like I don't think I'm like a employee on the set. I take the ownership of the stuff, and which was noticed by my producers and my director. So I started getting compliments of being more focused and more uh, like more dedicated to the project. So then I got offered as a director. This was my first film, which was offered by somebody I had worked earlier. So then I said yes. Okay, I was happy to do that. So yeah, this is how I got my first project. But uh, working as a first assistant director and working as an independent director, it's a big decision because once you are director, you can't go back as a first AD in India.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So either you do a good project and either you if you don't like the project you are offered, it's better to say no and continue as a first AD unless you find something you want to do, because otherwise it's very hard, to go back to to the first AD from director's position. So, but I love this. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Well, so this film, you were a director for hire. You didn't have to worry about raising the finance or anything like that. It was all basically in place and ready to go.
Yeah. Honestly, yes, because I was offered this film, as I mentioned, by uh, the producer I have worked with. So I just got a call in the morning. I was in Mumbai and I was preparing to work as a first AD for another project. So I got a call and they said and they explained me a little bit about the project and they said if you would like to direct this film. So I think as a first time director, it was a great opportunity because everything was uh, well placed, like casting and like other stuff. So I just had to jump on as a director and align and start preparing.
No, that's listen, that's an ideal job for don't have to worry about any of the other things, just focus on the directing.
Yeah,
which is good. Which is good.
Yeah, I think I was fortunate.
What sort of size budget was this for this first film?
I think it was around 500,000 in Punjabi industry, so Indian rupees. So,
what would that translate to in dollars, roughly?
I don't know how to put it into dollars, but 500,000 pounds, I would say.
Oh, okay, about £500,000. So
yeah,
so probably about $400,000 or something, depending on what the exchange rate is that week.
Yeah, but it's a good it was a good budget for the Punjabi film because let me just elaborate more.
Sure.
Bollywood, they are more into Hindi films, so they have like wider audience because the movies are released all over India. So
Sure.
Punjab is a state in India. So we have the smaller audience, but we have a good audience in UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. So, but but the budgets are low for the Punjabi films compared to the Bollywood, because Bollywood is like they make 10, 12 million pound films.
Sure.
But the Punjabi films are around 1 million, half a million, so that mark. So
yeah, okay. So give us a sense of your typical day on set for this movie. First of all, what kind of size crew would you have on a typical day?
So for Punjabi movies, the average crew is around between 80 to 100 people.
Damn, man, that's still big.
Yeah.
That's still a big. That's
Yeah.
still a pretty big. I mean, are you shooting for this film? Are you shooting multiple cameras?
We did multiple cameras for for a week or 10 days. So even if it's a like Punjabi film, but we had like the best equipments on set. Industry standard equipments are provided. So it was honestly like fun working on set with all the facilities given, with all the crew sizes like it's, I'm saying between 80 to 100, but some days it was like around 120 or 130 when we had
Wow.
like the bigger scenes to film.
Sure. Ollie,
Yeah.
can you imagine having 120 people for your crew?
Oh my goodness, would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, the max I think on my film was about 40 people, and that was crazy.
Yeah, I think 60 is probably the
You,
highest I've had.
you will laugh if I tell you how many assistant directors I had on set for me for direction.
How many?
8.
Oh my
I'm the
God,
ninth
that's a
one.
lot of ADs.
Yeah, so like we had some assistants, like they were that it was their first film, they just wanted to learn, but
Trainees, yeah.
but in total we had 8 assistant directors. In fact, when I was a first AD, even I never had uh, like these many assistant directors. So
Just that, let me ask you something, because we say this in the industry a lot over here, that the most important person on the set is the caterer, because the crew will only work as hard as their stomachs have been fed, and even on an independent film, includes the kind of things Oliver and I have worked on. We always try to make sure that the food is good, that the
that's
food
right.
is something people remember,
Mhm.
because we want to show them that we're looking after them, even if we're not paying them the big bucks. The catering on something like this, you're including your cast, I imagine it's typically it'd be around 100 a day.
That's right.
Would you all break and sit together, and how many scheduled meal breaks would there be in a working day in India?
So we have breakfast on set. That's very standard practice. And then we have, like after 2 hours, we have a small break, like 10 minutes. Like you can have a tea, or usually on Indian film sets, you get samosas, if you are aware of the samosas. So these are like small snack.
Yeah. No, I love samosas.
Yeah, and then we have lunch break, an hour's lunch break. But sometimes on a very busy schedule, we have a running break. We call it running break. Like we carry on filming, but people take breaks in the sections. Like if we have 5 or 10 people in lighting department, so 4 people can take the break, and rest of people can continue working.
Right.
So yeah,
I
but
got you.
it happens rarely, because let's say if we are running a shortage of time and we have to finish something,
Yeah.
those scenarios. So 1 hour lunch break, and then after 2 hours we have another 10 minutes snacks break, quick one. And then if it's a late night shooting, then we get dinner. But otherwise, after evening snacks, if the shift gets over, like if it's a 11 or 12 hours shift, then that's the end.
Okay, you know what? That's really interesting to
Yeah, to be honest, on Indian film sets, food is never a problem. It's well, and we have here in UK we call them runners, and in India we call them sport boys.
Right.
So they serve throughout the day. Like you can ask for tea, you can ask for biscuits.
Right.
So they are on your service throughout the day. So
yeah, so it's quite a well-oiled machine,
Yeah.
which I think for the catering part of any film is essential.
Yeah.
What would you say, before we move on to your career in the UK,
Mhm.
what would you say are the major differences between filming in India and filming here? What are the significant differences you've seen?
Yeah, so the only major difference I found is in terms of preparation, because here in UK we do a lot of pre-production. Like we prepare everything. We like in terms of like scheduling, we schedule everything properly. In India, we are slightly behind, preparing in preparation. So we do a lot of things on set. So that's I think major difference. But otherwise, passion, creativity, I think it's almost same everywhere. We get passionate. Some people, on film set, some people come out of passion. Some people come, they want to earn money, and some people just like to be in the film industry. So I think it's pretty same everywhere.
So tell us how IC9 came about. How did that start?
Yeah, so we started planning this film when I think in 2022, when COVID was like getting over slowly. So initially, I thought of making this film in Punjabi. So but I had some connection with UK film industry through Darren and through Alex. So
Yeah,
when
which I imagine that came about as a result of you all working on this movie, which I've seen it and it's a great film.
Yeah, Sajjan Singh Rangroot. Yeah, I made a lot of connections when we were doing this film in London.
Yeah.
So I spoke with Alex and then Darren, and I said I'm planning to make a film in Punjabi. So I told them about the subject, and then uh, I had written the first draft of the film. But then I had another friend. His name is Bill Mato. So I spoke to him as well. He's here. He's a line production here in UK, line producer here in UK.
Sure. Yeah.
So he was part of Sajjan Singh Rangroot as well. Very passionate film
That's
maker.
Darren on the left there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always looking mean. There's very few photos of Darren smiling. He normally looks mean. That's why he gets cast.
Most of the time he is a pissed off officer on the set.
Yeah.
And the film, his character, he had that nature of character.
Yeah.
So I spoke with these guys, and they said when they just had a look at the subject of the film, which was very topical, and illegal immigration, perils of people endangering their lives to reach UK. So they liked the subject, and they said, why not we make this film in English so that we have wider audience, we have like more reach of the film. So then I was introduced to my co-writer Kyle Tierton. So he took over the script. So he made significant changes. He wrote the dialogues, and he did a lot on the script. So then I had my producer Manny Singh. So Manny loved the subject. So he said he would help me to raise the investment. So this is how we started. Then it kept on going. So everybody loved the subject of the film. So, but we didn't have a very big budget for the film, so we had very limited uh, resources. But I think people supported us a lot. So because of the story, because of the setup of the film, we had, even if it's a if it's an independent budget film, but we had a lot of locations, and we had a lot of characters, which was the which was like bit hard to manage. And the another big challenge was the weather, because we did the first schedule in November, which and end of November, and it was a 2 weeks schedule starting November and uh, finishing in mid December, and then we had the second schedule in January after New Year. So the weather was the most challenging part, I think. It was freezing, and we had a lot of outdoor locations.
Yeah, I
But
can see your crew are pretty well wrapped up here.
yeah,
with many layers and
yeah.
scarves on. How many shooting days was this?
I think 48, the total number of filming days. Because
48 days. That's quite a lot.
yeah, because we couldn't because of the bad weather, we had to cancel sometimes, and the speed was slow for a few days because of the because of the weather. So we had challenges, but crew did well. They tried their level best to uh, achieve what was scheduled, and it was a good team work, I would say. And we
So
had, yep, sorry, carry on.
no. Did you please continue if you had something extra to add?
No, it was just, I just wanted to say thank you to the crew, because I know as a director, and it was, uh, I had done around 7, 8 films before this, and I think this was one of the hardest film to do in terms of uh, weather and the other challenges.
Sure. There is an Instagram page for IC9 which you
Yeah,
can follow, because we can't. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a lid on it on the movie at the moment, so we can't even show you a trailer. I do
yeah,
know people that have seen it and have recommended it to me. But you can follow and get the latest news here. So I've put that in the chat. There it is. So just tell us. I mean, I'm guessing you know the IC9 refers to the police classification of a suspect on the radio call, like IC1 male. Is that what it refers to?
that's right. So IC means identity code. So
Yeah.
identity code 9. So they have classified uh, like IC1, IC2, IC3. So IC9 is a code for the people, especially for the immigrants, like who don't have any identity yet. So
Right.
it's nine means unknown. So yeah, so that's
Okay. So that's where that comes from. And obviously the whole topic of immigration is it's a really difficult one, especially to tackle in a movie. And one of the things I've noticed about it as a conversation, and I mean, I don't fit any box politically. We don't talk politics on this channel for exactly that reason. I like to talk about each subject individually rather than my views are this, left or right or whatever. But one of the things with immigration is it's a subject that really polarizes and not only polarizes and divides people very quickly,
right.
but it's also a subject where you can't even have a conversation about it without people immediately feeling without people being told that they're taking a side. And I don't think it's always as clear cut as that. I think it's more nuanced and complex than that, rather than everything over here on one side and everything over here on the other side. what's the angle with this film? Why should people go and see it? What kind of story are you presenting? And could you, without giving us any spoilers, could you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah. So this film is about how immigrants are taken once they cross the borders, when they are in UK. Like, it's more of a message rather than just targeting a particular community or a race.
Sure.
It's more of the story of the immigrants, how they are taken by the people, because nobody, I think, would like an illegal immigrant living next door. So how they are received. So it's a message for the people who are into this situation, and they have decided deliberately to follow this path to settle in UK. It's not it's not targeting anything like uh, you know uh, making any kind of derogatory you know opinions about particular section of people. It's more about
I think
telling.
what you're trying to say is you don't take a side. You don't take one particular. You're not thrusting one particular view or narrative. It's
That's
more
right.
just telling it how it is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
For these characters.
that's right. It is more like a message to people who choose this route to come to UK and settle, because it's not just impacting their lives, it's impacting everybody's life, so around them. So they are more like vulnerable, and they are more prone to any kind of exploitation.
Yeah.
So we have tried to convey the message. Of course, it's a commercial movie, it's like a thriller, but the message behind this is just to let people know, like, if they want to make a career, want to settle in UK, like, there are uh, like other possible ways they can, but not be a illegal person, in not even in UK, like in in any country.
Sure.
Unless you are a victim of a war, or like a lot of things are going on. So it's again.
Well, it's a massive contentious issue, and I'm quite glad to hear that the narrative of this is not specific to one argument. I think it's much better to just tell a story and show a story that feels true and authentic, and let the audience make up their own mind, which sounds like what you're doing with the film to me.
That's right. That's what we are aiming at. So we had a cast and crew premiere at Battersea Cinema in November. So we got like very good comments, and people took this subject very positively, and they took it as a good message with entertainment. And
So yeah, the feedback from the premiere was quite positive for the film.
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was great. It's not because I'm the maker of the film, but like, we got the genuine feedback, and this it and that's what we were expecting. We didn't want uh, this film just to be a commercial success. We want the message we are trying to convey to reach people. So I think we did it successfully after getting the feedback, because we had few people who were not part of the film. They were just the audience.
Yeah,
So
sure.
was because when you are part of the film, you have different opinions, but when you watch the film as an audience, you give the honest views. So
yeah, I mean, when I have a screening of my film, I'm always the most interested to hear from the person that I have no connection with whatsoever. They're just there watching the movie, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Here's some of your cast looking very glamorous. You had your cast and crew screening at the Battersea Power Station Cinema. I've never been there. What's it like?
It's an amazing place. It's a new cinema, and I loved the quality of the sound. And they have two projectors running at the same time to add extra, you know, resolution, brightness to the picture, and the quality, the picture quality looks great. So it's really a good place for the screening or to watch the film.
Yeah, fantastic. So when is the film due for release?
So after the screening, we have few people interested in sales and distribution. So my producers are in negotiation with them. So hopefully
Right.
we'll get the final news for the release of the film.
Are you looking at cinema release, or do you think it will be a streaming platform?
I would love to go to the cinemas.
Yeah.
But again, it's the decision of the distribution team because they will assess the film. They will see all the possibilities of the success on the screen. So yeah, I'll leave it to them. But our priority would be the cinemas because we have filmed it on the with all the like industry standard cameras, equipments. We
Yeah, I
filmed.
could see. Yeah, the kit looked pretty impressive on the set.
Yeah, she did. We had anamorphic Atlas lenses. We have the mini Alexa and all the basic stuff. So quality wise, we have tried to match the industry, but even with the low budget. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. Your DOP on it, I think, was Neil Osman.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy to work
Yeah,
with.
no, I've had a number of friends who've worked with him on various projects, and everyone's got nothing but lovely things to say about him. So, that's really great. So we're giving you a shout out, Neil. Obviously, you got to work with Alex Reese again, who you already knew from Rangroot. And I love Alex as an actor. I like the way he works, and he always asks all the right questions. And he always comes with a rather spectacular haircut, free of charge. So, great guy to have on the set. Very positive energy, which is
That's
what you
right.
want. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Alex is honestly he's a great actor. So he knows his character. Me as a director, we have characters look in our mind, but sometimes actors themselves come with a great idea. Okay, how if I look like this in the film? So like Alex is one of them. So he came up with a very good look. So we loved it, and we thought of, okay, let's go with this. So yeah,
fantastic.
he's an asset on set.
He is. I've recommended him to so many people.
That's
Ollie, as a fellow indie filmmaker, did you have any questions you wanted to ask Gulshan before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you for jumping on, because it's very interesting to hear different perspectives and things, and just thinking of my own project as well and how different from different kind of cultures as well. It's really fascinating. Yeah, I mean, of course, I know it's very hush hush, but I love the poster for IC9. I mean, I don't know if you designed that or someone else designed it, but it's very intriguing, that's for sure.
It's Sean Strong who did the designing of the poster. Very creative.
Yeah, it is really nice, very striking, very evokes a lot of intrigue for sure. So it's caught my attention.
I mean, I even quite liked the teaser poster, which was just the White Cliffs of Dover with a very moody sky. I even like that. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, okay, you probably need something more to tell you about the story of the film. So now we have this, which is great as well. But I like the way the poster is split by the line of the forest. That's very effective.
Yeah, it's Sean did a good job. But thank you so much, guys.
Northern had a question as well. Jump in, Luke.
Yes, so if this does well and you get the opportunity to do some more wider, more commercial English-speaking movies, do you think you would ever go back to doing Bollywood occasionally as well, if you felt like it?
To be honest, I loved working on IC9, and I am in talks with another project, same kind of like a British project.
Oh, nice
Uh,
one.
yeah, but if an opportunity comes to me, like going back to do a Bollywood film, so I won't mind doing it. But what I felt after doing IC9, like now the cinema is global. Language is not a barrier. Like it's that we have after we spoke earlier, like after the streaming platforms, now the
Mm.
cinema has become global. Like you people watch content, you never know. When IC9 is released, somebody in like Mexico, somebody maybe in South Africa watching this film, which I never thought. But uh, now I think all you need is to plan a good movie, a good story. So language, the crew, like it's not a barrier for me, I think, and
Sure.
for any director or filmmaker.
Just
Feel for that.
couple of other questions before we begin to wrap up. One from Keith: do you have an extremely big project you'd like to do? Cutting to the chase, but you don't have the budget for it yet. So I think another way of putting that question is, if budget was not a barrier, do you have like a big epic movie you'd like to do? You know, India's answer to Braveheart or whatever that may be.
I do have a very big budget war movie in my mind. So I have done little bit research. Little bit research on it, and this movie, it's like a true story, and it changed the course of World War II. If this
Oh,
incident hadn't happened, the World War could have a different result. So I had
wow.
my mind with my co-writer Kyle. So
Right.
he told me this subject, but I would prefer waiting to have a like reasonable budget rather than just do things in rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot it
Because
properly.
war movies are done in a different way, like the budget, the setup. We need genuine, the believable things happening on screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise it looks like a cheap movie if you don't
I
spend
would
well.
love to say that. I would love to see a World War II flick from the side of the Indians, because I've already seen the side of the Germans, the Russians, the Americans, the English, and the Irish. And yeah, that's one thing I'm not so familiar with and would love to know more about.
Yeah, because the Rangroot one that we talked about, Luke, that's World War One. So that's the unit that was in the trenches. But yeah, you're right. I don't think there's been many World War II Indian narratives, and they had a unit, didn't they, fighting with the Allies, if I
They had
remember rightly.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would be good to sort of hear a bit more about the people from that side who sacrificed a lot just to take down Hitler and his entire Third Reich.
right.
Well, hopefully Gulshan will be the man to tell us about these things.
Hopefully, touch wood, we'll try.
So what's up? What's up next for you?
So I'm already working on a story. It's again a very topical subject. I've been told not to, disclose much, but it's a
Sure.
very topic you might be hearing on news every day. So but this news thing came up like I think a few days ago, but we have been thinking of doing this a long time back, like six,
I'm
7.
I'm assuming this isn't a mini series about the Los Angeles fire.
No.
No.
Not that. Not that. It's a social issue. I think it's a scandal that
Right.
happened a long time back, and it's coming back. Uh, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But
I think I've probably got the idea of what you're talking about. Fantastic. Okay. Is there anything else that people can do to support you? Where can they find out about your work and what you're up to?
I first of all, I would like to say thank you to you guys for bringing me on this podcast.
Oh no, not at all.
It's really helpful for an independent director like me. So to see my work, or I think you can visit my profile. Just type my name, Gulshan Singh, director. You will find my IMDb. You will have some little information about me on Google. And currently, we are promoting IC9. So there is a page on Instagram or on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Just type IC9 the movie, and you will see the poster just shown here. So yeah, just follow the page, and if you like, you can make any comment on the post. If you would like any information, we would love to interact. So yeah, that's all.
Well, Gulshan, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you to my two co-hosts for supporting me while my voice is a bit feeble.
You did good, Lance. You did good.
No, looks like you didn't need us after all.
No, trust me, I needed you. Once you've been on our channel, Gulshan, any independent filmmaker that's been on this channel is considered to be a member of the Outcast Creative. So you can call upon us any time to come back and promote something else. And we will schedule you to come on again. Just reach out and get in touch with us via the usual ways. And we'll have you back on again, no problem. And it's particularly interesting for me to hear about the filmmaking in different cultures. I remembered the one question I wanted to ask you, so I'll put this to you before we go. No doubt you've been back and forth to India, because I assume you have family over there and all of that. In the last 10 years, has India been impacted with cinema closures? Because we've had a lot of cinema closures over here, and we've had a lot of closures in the USA. I just wondered if that's impacting that side in India at all.
I don't think so, because in India, cinemas is still a very popular place to watch movies. But recently I came to know AI is impacting the work, especially for the voiceover artists. I have a lot of voiceover artists in my circle. One of them, he does voices for Megatron. He has done voice for the Terminator in Hindi. So when the movie is dubbed and released, but recently they are impacted by AI because their voice is used, but they are not get paid. So they are struggling with that. Cinema closures, I think it's not impacting, because I haven't heard anything big on cinema closures. It impacted for a few months when COVID happened, but again, it's back to normal. People still love to go to cinemas.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, well, we'll wrap things up there. Thank you so much for coming on, Gulshan. The next stream of the Outcast Creative is on Sunday, this Sunday at 8 o'clock. Gulshan, I'll take you out of the studio. Thank you again, and do get in touch with me if you ever need any support going forward.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Take care, man.
Right. So just to thank my co-hosts for coming on. Trust me, guys, I didn't need you because I was coughing and drinking water and running around when I was turning my camera off.
Tough bastard, mate.
But we are going to be back on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to this because it feels like it's been ages since we did this before. We're going to be breaking down the first 2 episodes of season 2 of one of the best cop shows in television ever made.
I'm a different kind of cop. We knock down the doors other cops don't want to. Taking fire from every scumbag in town.
They didn't earn it. I don't feel bad about taking it.
All about bringing force down on the street. Why don't y'all take a look at what you got going on under your own roof?
I never put the money above us.
How long you think that's gonna last?
I don't want Vic in our lives anymore.
You're investigating me?
Vic Mackey beats suspects and deals drugs. And that's just all in one day. I wonder what he's gonna do tomorrow.
Everybody down! Hey, my day's just getting started.
Yeah, can't wait to get into that. And if you haven't seen The Shield, the entire thing is currently available on Amazon Prime. Ollie, do you want to plug your film quickly before we go?
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone who's watching.
Ollie has just made a feature film. It's not out on general release yet, is it?
No, no. We had a private screening, soft sort of premiere. But it's a fantasy
so
film
in the same zone as our guest.
Yeah, so it was a good screening, and we got a lot of feedback. So that's now informing the final shape of the edit. So yeah, the next thing is trying to figure out how to get it out there. But yeah, the movie's called Gallowmere, 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 and it's a fantasy film, and you can find it on all the social media platforms. Oh, there we go, poster, lovely.
There you go. Yeah,
there we
expect
go.
lots of blue lightning from people's fingers in this movie. So
yeah, it's in places.
But you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, and you wanted to make a fantasy movie ever since. This isn't quite your Lord of the Rings, but this is like a mini adventure.
It's as a first feature, it is a crazy attempt, let's say, because normally a first film features, many people do horror movies and things like that, something on a more modest setting. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, that is very unusual. I mean, for a first feature to be a fantasy, I mean, it's always some kind of social drama or, like you said, a horror. So
it's madness. It's taken us 3 years to get this done, and we've worked really hard at it. We worked really hard to try and know our limitations, because normally there's a lot of indie fantasy films that exist out there, and they try and go too big, bombastic with these like monsters and creatures and things like that. But we try to really kind of rein it in so it feels a bit more kind of atmospheric and moody and things
Still
like
needs
that.
more castles.
Yeah, well, that costs some money.
Yeah, well, not if you shoot it the way I do. Anyway,
so we're sneaking in.
Ollie, when the movie's out, or when it's accessible to the public, we'll get you back in to talk about it.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And you can send a link round to our panelists who can grill you about it.
You can see all the trailers and stuff for it, which is cool.
Northern, you got anything you want to plug, mate?
At the moment, I'm trying to get a review done on Landman, but I don't know if I should wait till it ends or just see how good it is so far while it's still relevant.
I would wait until season 1 has finished.
Yeah, I might try and do one on Lioness then, which is a really good thriller. Really good.
Yeah, that is good. I'm putting the IMDb for Gallowmere in the chat, so if people want to check that out, that will get you to the various other links for it. You can find a trailer for it on YouTube. There's a couple of different trailers, in fact. So there you go. And
I've just dropped it in, and I've dropped the actual website in the link as well.
Yeah, I forgot I moderated you. What was I thinking? Yeah, so Ollie's
there
also.
You go.
There's an official website. You can
find everything there.
Filmmaker when they've got a website, because hardly anyone does them anymore. So, all right, guys. Well, look, thank you so much for stepping in and assisting me, because, man, this illness is really knocking 7 shades of shit out of me.
Yeah, well, you did very good, dude. You did very good.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to hear that not pleased to hear, but I'm not the only one that's had it. Loads of people have had it. Even the drinker had it the other night.
Yeah, he had that. Jesus, poor bastard.
Yeah, he had the same symptoms as me. So, it's not fun waking up at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night and you realise you've soaked the sheets like right through to the other side of the mattress. It's like you're lying in a pool of water kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm guessing all that whiskey didn't help drink. Maybe a bit of zinc might help. Bit of zinc.
My whiskey bottle's empty, so send your whiskey now to the Outcast Creative Mission, care of Facebook. Anyway, that's it from us. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to my guest, Gulshan Singh, for coming in and talking about IC9. We will probably get our guest back in when the film is widely available so we can talk about it in more detail. Until then, we'll see you on Sunday at 8 o'clock for the breakdown of The Shield, Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2.
Find a hidden gem today.